What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
안녕, 르입니다.
I'm Jarek.
Keith.
You know the vibe. Just seen the picture. I seen the thumbnail. You know why y'all here. Undercover. Ace. No long talk. Let's jump right into this. Let's uncover this track.
See you on the low, hey, so how she banging like a bongo? Let it go, got me strong like Santana. When I see you feel the rush, can I get to know what's up? Nobody, 날 충족 못해. 나는 원래 어딜 봐, 여길 봐, 너를 원해. 널 원해, 주게 hurry. Step back, she toxic, come back and pop it. 종에 맞은 가슴 꽉.
Say cock back and pop it.
말없이 다가가 널 멍하니 쳐다봐. 바보처럼 미안 나가게 할게 슬금슬금 아무도 모르게 널 지켜 내가 필요할 때야 컴컴 나를 막지 못해 everybody move 애써 멈출 생각 전혀 no 소리 없이 내려앉은 안개
Visuals.
널 아무렇지 않은데 조용히 다가갔어 누굴 기다린 건지 이토록 지쳐 보이는 눈동자가 아직 한 입술 잘 새어나오는 거친 숨소리 Undercover hey 네 맘에 Yes 너는 지금지 okay Don't say no Oh my mind 너에게 가지고는 없어 Because I want you to be mine 네 맘 가져볼래 Only you and I 그냥 나를 따라와 baby Okay tension 높아 뜨겁게 차올라 느낌 so high 불꽃같이 참지 못했던 쓸데없는 다른 놈들 때문에 흔들리지 마 내게 no competition 거부해야 해 지금 이 status 정신 차려야 하기 웬 달았나 눈 깜짝하면 시간은 흘러가 나에게 널 맡겨 소리 없이 내려앉은 안개 속에 널 아무렇지 않은데 조용히 다가갔어 누굴 기다린 건지 이토록 지쳐 보이는 눈동자가 아직 한 입술 잘 새어나오는 거친 숨소리 Undercover hey 네 맘에 Yes 너는 지금지 okay Don't say no Oh my mind 너에게 가지고는 없어 Because I want you to
Like that,
그냥 날 따라와 baby 난 완성해 Baby girl you make me feel special 나에게 집중해 Concentrate on me girl Nobody 날 충족 못해 나는 원래 어딜 봐 여길 봐 너를 원해 널 구원해 주게 hurry Let's break up Undercover hey 네 맘에 Yes 너는 지금 okay Don't say no Oh my mind 너에게 가지고는 없어 Because I want you to be mine 네 맘 가져볼래 Only you and I 그냥 나를 따라와 baby
Now that was fire. Getting some good rock joints tonight. I will say, primarily due to the vocalists and like melodies and everything they putting over this, but man, I thought this was dope. Just overall, the drum work and everything. This was definitely more of a sounded more like a program drum, or maybe they had somebody play, but it definitely sounded more like a drum program. Either way, the shit was fire. For my first time seeing this group, man, I like what I'm seeing performance-wise and, you know, from a musical standpoint. They really kind of killed it. These dudes all look like they own kind of guys. I'm not going to say, like, I've never seen anything like this before. We Sort of have as far as stylistically and everything like that. But just from a music standpoint, they really kind of knocked it out the park for this, a first impression and everything like that. I love the use of those falsettos and everything like that during the chorus. It was very beautiful. The video, it was cool, very bright. I don't know. It kind of, I guess I'm just gonna get this second watch because the song kind of overtook it for me in the first half. But let me watch a little bit more and see if I have any like good remarks for the video.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. The video did a lot of things, especially like I said with the whites and the like just different colors. I think golden and brown was another thing. It's like certain contrasts that hit with like white and other colors on here that make the video a little bit more unique. Like you said, I don't think it was anything where it's like, oh my God, this changes rock. But those falsettos and all the melodies were just super catchy. And it wasn't like it was like one or two. It seemed like it just was kind of all over the place with different melodies throughout the entire thing.
And even one dude had a real unique voice, the guy in the yellow with the pigtails. His voice is pretty unique as well. I like
the two other boys too. The one that had like the blue eyes and stuff with like the white hair. And then the boy that went like directly after him. Like niggas was betting in the comments, they be like, "Oh,
I'm gonna wait till the video go out to say what I gotta say."
Oh, okay. Yeah. But nah, I thought this was pretty dope. I actually like the. I don't want to call it like minimalistic because this may sound like. Imagine someone telling you like, "Yo, we're gonna shoot the video, or whatever. Just sit there on your grandmom's couch and shit with the plastic wrapped up and shit." But somehow they made it cinematically look dope.
Yeah,
like
that's like at one part that looked like a location, but then it looked like CG a little bit right there.
Yeah, and they're doing a good way of blending because they really kind of have just 3 sets that they're using and going in and out. If y'all look at the grandmom couch chair scene, that's the same room that they're just dancing in, and the same room right there again that they're just doing all this stuff in. Yeah, so they're kind of playing with like 3 locations, but it's decent.
Which is
man.
smart. The way they shooting it, you would think it's more going on, but obviously we all been behind the camera before, we could see it.
Yeah, but it's dope, and like you said, it was rock still, but yet they all have like they got a couple different looks in here that I really like. I don't know, they just look unique and stuff, and I like the whole I feel like they have glasses on but shouldn't with the lace. Like that makes sense.
Like they wear glasses with no lenses.
Yeah, like they did it on purpose.
Smooth as shit too.
Yeah, this was clean, man. A lot of visuals too. This was good, especially for this being like our first time just listening to them. I'm very interested to kind of want to hear more and just to hear if this was a one-off as far as rock goes or if this is kind of them. But that's my take.
No, it seems like they had the contrast really high up on the video, but with the highlight also turned up to kind of feed into the beauty aesthetic, kind of give their skin the porcelain look. This was a good video. So here's my question though. I don't think they're a rock group, but this is clearly a song with rock elements. Like, how would you classify them as a group though? Even though this is only the first song we've heard, so we really can't say too much. But they don't necessarily give me rock group vibes. Like, nobody has an instrument, nobody is playing the instrument. I don't even know, like Lo said, the drum kit might even be electronic, so how are we like quantifying something like this?
Oh nah, I think this is probably one of those things more where
it's a one-off.
I think it's probably more of a one-off and stuff.
Kind of like what was it? Dan Hyphen joint.
Yeah, and mind you, and Hyphen has like 3 or 4 tracks that's rock, but that's not them and shit. I think they just do it when they want to. Same with TXT and the same with a couple other groups and shit. I think some people now, which is a point that I didn't even get to get off and shit. And the main thing is, a lot of people rather just be considered an artist nowadays too than to be tied in with anything. Most rappers, they be like, "Oh, you rap?" He's like, "I'm an artist." Or you sing? "I'm an artist. I do everything and shit like that." So I wonder if that plays a key into some of the shit now, where maybe some rock groups might more just be like, "I do everything."
Specifically in the K world, I think it's less of a genreless thing and more of a stylistic thing. So you're gonna have groups play with these different genres, mashups, and everything like that.
Did music become positionless basketball? You know,
Let Brent Fayez tell it. Yeah,
So I think like we kind of crossed the line a long time ago. We talked about how the rappers would be melodic and the R&B guys now want to rap. So I mean, I think that's like kind of when it happened then. And then you got people who are just super eclectic. Like you got your CeeLo Greens who will do a Gnarls Barkley one album and then do a rap album / R&B rap album because Fuck You wasn't
And then you
a
got
rap song per se. You know what I mean?
And you got the Kanyes. And
question for all y'all too.
Russ.
Question for all y'all.
Who can make all their stuff.
If y'all were gonna do, well, I'm gonna ask. I guess I can ask in a couple different ways. Y'all have all made music. I think everyone here has touched like music and have done shit. Let's say today you were doing an album and shit, and you wanted a rock sound. Would you rather go out and find a rock group to do it, or would you be like, or would y'all rather be like, I think I'm gonna get the instrumentation and just do the track myself?
I'll get
It
an
depends on
actual
how
live
sound.
I go get a band.
I like the band sound.
If I'm really going for
Not so
something
much.
authentic-
No, not so much like a band. I'm talking about like if you had an opportunity to be like, I can go get a band with a singer and everything, and I'll just do the rap and they do the rock parts. Like, you know what I mean? Would y'all rather just do that, or would y'all rather just be like, I can rap, do all of it, all in one track by myself?
I would probably arrange it myself, but I would still want people who have like expertise in the like live drumming and especially the guitar would probably be the trickiest aspect, especially if I'm not trying to program the drums my damn self. I would definitely probably, I think, because that makes for bigger like collaboration. It just depends on what you're trying to do, because I don't think everybody can be Prince, you know what I'm saying? Whereas you can play every damn instrument and you can do it all by yourself. If I can do it, you know what I'm saying? Then I would go for it. But if
not so much all on the production side, because
do you want niggas to say can do it by themselves? That's what I get.
nah, because I feel like you're taking the question and you turn. I'm not asking that. Like
You said you want to
no, and that's why I'm trying to give more context to my question, because it's not. You seem to not be getting. It's not hitting right. I'm saying, like, forget all the, I want to bring people in to help me with the sound. You can call anybody right now. We live in Philly. I can call up anybody right now almost, and a nigga with a guitar will show up.
Questlove.
And somebody will get you right and shit. I'm talking about, like, doing, like, the vocals for the rock shit and everything, not the production at all or anything like that. Just you doing a track.
I would love to do the singing, the rapping on it. I can't play no instrument, so of course.
Yeah, y'all don't gotta touch your instrument.
But as far as the singing, writing the song, and rapping and performing the whole song,
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
yes, I would like it to be me. Of course, there's gonna be some background vocals and yada yadas, but primarily it is gonna be me, my song, and my band.
Yeah, sorry, Lo. That's what I just meant. Though. I just meant, like, if you had an opportunity to do everything yourself, would you take the opportunity, or would you just be like, let me find a local band out here just to kind of help, and I'm going to just rap?
I think it depends. So, like, it also, like, for me, it depends on the arrangement. Like, I know what my voice sounds like. I know if the song needs elements that need to be a little higher, somebody who can actually scream out these notes, whereas I can't. I would probably go for that person and bring them in, and then we would collab. But like, you really got to know what type of song you want to do and what type of song that you're going for, what sound you're going for. But like, once you have all those things in place, if you feel like you can do everything that the song requires to do in a high level, then by all means do it yourself. But if you feel like, I think somebody else's touch might be more needed on this track, then personally I would outsource.
Yeah, ideally, I would like it to be me, but if I'm trying to make a hit, I might have to sacrifice my voice and be like, I'm gonna just do the rapping.
Mike went and got Eddie Van Halen for a reason, for Beat It. So.
Sometimes you gotta know what are your strong suits and what are not your strong suits. When can you go all out and when can you not? Kind of like Keith said, it all depends on the situation and what you're trying to do. You're trying to do a quick little performance, a nice little song, nice. If you're trying to make a song that lasts for a long time and is memorable, it might be a different approach, because you're like, ideally, yes, I would like it to be me, but let's be honest here, I can't do everything on the film set, you know what I mean? I can't do everything in the studio. Somebody needs to, You know, if I could get Beyonce on the track, I'm getting Beyonce on the fucking track. Fuck my
I
voice.
think that's one thing
Everybody
that
can't make that call.
I think that's what's kind of led to music being in the state that it's in, trying to do the whole do-it-yourself method.
Yeah, and not everybody could do that.
Yeah, and
Everybody should
that's where I
not
was
be
gonna
doing
get
that
to.
shit.
It's like,
Everybody
everybody
should
shouldn't
not
be
be trying
doing
to
it.
engineer their own shit. Everybody should not be trying to fucking. I respect artistry and musicianship, but bro, you gotta understand when it's like, nigga, them drums don't sound like
Yeah,
shit.
you gotta
know
understand
what
what
I'm
is it that you're trying to do. Are you doing this because you love this and this is your hobby? Cool, be independent 100%. Do everything yourself.
saying?
But
Sometimes
if,
niggas be being cheap too. I'm like,
yeah,
bro, I can
if
feel
you're
like, all right,
trying
bro.
to dominate a certain market, if you're trying to take your career to a next level, you're gonna have to make certain sacrifices, and you can't be independent in everything.
I
You
don't
know,
even think
wish
that shit is a sacrifice. I think that shit is a necessary, a smart decision for your
because
artistry to
ideally,
grow.
I wish if I was making a movie, and I think Nick, you could say the same thing. If I was making a movie, I would love to direct, shoot, edit, write, and do everything myself, the lighting and everything. But god damn,
Look how
you know
much
what
work
I mean?
that shit take.
when
a
you've
lot.
when you've done it and you've been through that process, you know, after it's just you
You're
don't.
like, your
It sounds good.
It sounds good,
It
but
sound good, but you don't.
realistically, I could be using that energy and time to find the right
Yeah,
resources
it'll
and
take you
tools that
forever
I
to
need.
get that done.
I think people get caught up in the symbolism of how that shit sounds, just like the whole J. Cole
Yeah.
platinum no feature.
Sounds
shit.
beautiful.
That shit sound. That,
Not everybody can pull that off.
And even then, I don't think he pulled that off as much as people say. But that's another topic.
Nah.
Like the Bull Russ, he writes,
He does
records,
everything, too.
everything. He's 100% mostly independent, does everything himself. Not everybody can do that. And there's too many people who want to replicate that same formula, but you gotta understand that doesn't work for everybody, right? Everybody wants to be Kanye,
Everybody
but
ain't.
Kanye's smart enough to be all right. Look, I'm gonna get rappers, or I'm, you know what I'm saying, to write these verses, but I'm
Exactly.
gonna give them the bones of how I want it to go. I'm gonna get people like Bon Iver. I'm gonna get people to come in and play these instruments,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell them exactly what instrument I want and how I want it played.
was
I
gonna
know
say,
they
he-
have the skill set to play it how I want it. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely
It's
knew how to. He
everything.
definitely knew how to start delegating work, and that's where everything, whether it was fashion, he's a good mind.
Like I said,
My
and
and
question.
you know what's a good? Sorry to interrupt.
no, you good.
Like, you know what's a good like telltale on like what kind of artist or musician that person is? I always ask them what they think of DJ Khaled, because DJ Khaled is the type where he doesn't do everything. He could if he wanted to.
I think he's a genius.
You know, he could if he wanted to. He could sit there and make the
Marketing
beat.
genius,
He could sit there and do all of that. But you got to know which resources, which
he has
tools to
good ear for
use at the
music,
right
too.
time. If you look at somebody like that and be like, oh, what he does is
Should have been
corny,
running industry.
you don't appreciate the bigger picture, right?
That's
Or
an
even
stage.
even somebody like Diddy. People hate Diddy. He might be a terrible business person, if you
Motherfucker
want to
know how
say.
to- motherfucker
but
know how to make a hit.
I was about to say
Exactly.
That
He
whole
can make a
terrible
hit.
businessman shit is that depending on who I always look at who's saying that
I
shit.
think that's the
because-
standpoint. Like from an artist standpoint, yeah, you might say, yeah, he's a terrible
Yeah,
business
terrible.
dude.
But
From-
grand scheme
I
of
think
it
the
all.
music industry in general got 1,000 niggas that's terrible business people.
Well,
Read your
people-
contract,
Like I
nigga.
said, people always say somebody's a terrible
Nah.
businessman, but it's like, bro, what are you bringing to the table? If I fucking had to do this for you, all like types of certain shit, that whole terrible businessman.
And the thing with music is, it's
Shut
one
up.
of those things where it's like, you can't. You can look at it from a fan standpoint, or even look at it from someone who just appreciates music, and then you can kind of look at it from the perspective of somebody who tried making music or somebody who's been down that path, and you can see, right? You look at somebody like, I'm running out of examples here. We said J. Cole's. We said this. I'm gonna just go back to Diddy.
I was about to say, you could just say rapper A or singer A if you want to. make it
Whoever you
easier,
want.
so-
You could look at these people, right, and you could judge the way they move, judge what they, how they make music. Or Drake, for example, using ghostwriters, this and the third. But at the same time, you have to know, like I said earlier, when is your time to do certain things? Because a lot of rappers don't. They get so caught up, or a lot of musicians get caught up in that idea of doing everything independently that then they get so much buzz, and then their next project, they're like, yeah, I'm full independent. I'm going to still do all this by myself. and then that project is doo-doo cakes, and
Trash.
you know what I mean, and it does like 9K in the first week or something like that.
I think that's a societal thing, though. Just simply because albums back in, when Prince was doing all his own work and people were doing a majority of their own work, the albums didn't come out every year. You know what I mean? You probably got one every 1 or 2, 3 years. You know what I mean? You would let it cook. The singles would drop at a slower pace. Everything wasn't instant quick grits. Whereas now, you don't have the time because you almost have to put an album out every year or else you got to rerun the fear of becoming irrelevant. So, like, those artists who can do everything won't do everything because, they just feel like, I just don't have the time. The studio wants it now, but you also want to put your name on something that's high quality. You feel like you can give the best quality because it's you, but you don't have the time to do it, so you trust somebody else with your baby in regards and just hope that it comes out the best way possible. But I think if society wasn't so now, I need it now, artists would be able to take the time to make proper albums that are long. Because Kanye was doing it for a while, but that's when we was getting that whole summer 7-track shit. Like, Kids See Ghost, 7 tracks. What was it? Pusha T's Joint, like 7 tracks. He was taking he was taking the time to do everything himself, but we were getting such a limited supply as opposed to getting the full menu that we would normally get. When you take maybe 2 or 3 years, what was it? 808 and Heartbreaks and Beautiful Dark Twisted was a good space of time where he was able to kind of sit back, refine his style. This is what I want to do, and then I'm gonna come out with the new sound, but I'm gonna take my time with it.
And he had an inciting incident, which even made the
I just don't think there's time.
Even better.
I just don't think there's time.
Yeah, well, I think it all goes to knowing your lane, because there are rappers who could like drop weekly and it'd be interesting. I think like when Fab was doing the Friday night freestyles, that was pretty dope. He was on a really good run. You just have to know your market and if that's what they want. Like NBA YoungBoy, I think he dropped like 80 projects.
I was about to say he can do shit like
he
that.
He could drop an album like every single year.
He's not looking for artistry. They just it's kind of like
artistry is subjective.
I'm saying they're not looking for him to break the wheel with nothing new. Like I know a NBA YoungBoy stan.
Yeah, they know what they want.
He's like, bro, I don't care what he drops as long as he
good
drops.
Thing with him though
rapping,
too is at least from all the shit I've heard from him, don't nothing ever feel like just watered down though neither. To me, at least.
I feel like he know his fan base. I give him talk some drill shit over some particular type of beats and everything like that. That's what it is.
Well, I do give him props. He could do the melodic.
He'll switch up and do something different though. Like I said, I feel like 2018 was his peak, but I'm not gonna get into we didn't already kind of steered away from them, and I want to show them a little bit more love because, like I said, I feel like they really killed this shit. But I do think, as far as that part of the conversation, like I said, the things that I'm good at, I handle. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not averse to collaborating with somebody else because I just think it makes the music better. And I'm a artistry first type person as opposed to like numbers and shit like that. Or I'm not chasing what the wave is. I want to do me at all times. If I'm not comfortable, it has to sound like me. It has to, beat to my standards, and I move to the beat of my own drum. So that's more kind of what I care about and everything like that when it comes to making music.
Yeah, 2 things. My question was based on I think artists should know themselves. I think if you know you can't sing, then obviously it's certain songs you shouldn't touch or certain ranges that your voice shouldn't go in. If you know you can do whatever the fuck you want, then there's probably less collaborations you have to worry about because your arsenal is so full you don't have to do much of anything. I think sometimes collaborations can ruin songs though too. Do I want to draw?
Yep.
Yes.
Imagine if BTS did My Universe without Coldplay and RM did everything.
It would sound different.
It would be a BTS song and not a Coldplay song.
I bet it'd be a better rock song than the song is currently consistent as right now.
I think it'd be a better song. I wouldn't call it like rock. I think it would be like genreless because of BTS.
No, but I'm saying like if RM was just like, not to turn this into a BTS thing and shit, if he really just wanted to lock in and was like, I think I want to do a rock song. I think he's smart enough and has enough musicality and has the producers where they can like get everything kind of going. And that's kind of one of my things where sometimes just doing a collab to do a collab too doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like just doing a collab to do a collab.
No, I completely agree with you, but I also think a lot of the problem in that song was the Coldplay version that we got. So we got Paradise, Viva La, damn, I can't think of the name.
Viva La Vida.
Yeah, Viva La Vida Coldplay, which is stadium song, chanty type song. We didn't get Clocks. We didn't get the Yellow type of Coldplay. We didn't get the Scientist Coldplay where musicality and trying different things and different notes were the order of the day for the type of music that they listened or were playing. We kind of got, it's almost like the rock conversation we were talking about earlier. I don't want to say the sellout version, but you got the more mainstream version where the music was kind of watered down as opposed to the intricacies of the fresh face Coldplay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes, like I said, I definitely get it when some of the music is safer and it appeals to more of a wider audience and shit like that, because the song is cool to me. And I'm not just trying to pick on that song, but I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure we can name like 10 other collaborations off the top of your head where it just was like, yo, I don't even think this person was needed. Or you'll just be like, this person probably should have stayed on this shit by themselves and the track probably would have been better.
Or in certain situations where they weren't on the track, like what was the loud Who Are You, Joan? That was just one with all him. Or same thing with Make It Right, where it was just really all them. And they just added somebody else for the crossover effect. And so in turn now we got to do a song for you, but it's a song that was already done that we weren't originally on. So now we're just singing the verse that, you sung already. So
I think artistic collaboration, like someone doing a guitar or drums or, something like that for the music is different than a feature, which today is, now that water shit down and kind of ruins stuff.
Yeah, if it's pure musicality, bro, then I agree 1,000%.
When I
mean, like almost where
music.
like I'm literally getting a guitarist to come on here, bro. Like snap,
Slash with Michael Jackson.
It's just like like you know what I mean. Like you said, Van Halen and Slash. When you grab them niggas and like, yo, do you? Just this is the beat. All right, cool. I'm gonna sing to it. When I'm done, go off. And you know what I mean? That's
so how long I got? Until you're fucking done.
Because I feel like that's what Prince and Mike was able to do with those rock collaborations where it's like, yo, go off. And obviously we got what we got and shit. But that's more purely like those music collabs as far as people just...
Prince would be the type of nigga, don't play anything, watch me.
Prince like, I'm good.
Which is why you see how they like careers went. Obviously, I think
I don't need you at all.
Prince is the greatest musician ever. But Mike, performance-wise and artistry-wise, pretty much top dog just because that's not my lane. I got Quincy for this. I got Rod Temperton to write and help produce.
You gotta know what to prioritize.
Yeah, Prince's whole thing. So every album that Prince dropped wasn't Purple Rain. It was still good music that followed after, but Prince's music also is very catered to him. Like, so if you don't,
Prince-like.
For people who like, all right, yeah, the Purple Rain soundtrack was good, or the first albums were this and that. Now it's like, whoa, what's this? What's this different sound? Or Prince kind of has his,
Yeah, it also depends on what kind of phase you want, because that Revolution phase and that New Power Generation phase is completely different.
Yeah.
Instead of going from like live instruments, that's when you started getting to the electronical beat machines and the keyboards and the synths and all the other stuff, and it was just kind of like, I like the live band sound better, but of course, that shit is gone. And I mean, you might get it on maybe a track or two, maybe. And you still got classics out of that. You got like your Thieves in the Temple, you got your Seven, you got, your Adore, Diamonds and Pearls. Yeah, that whole shebang bang. Like, and it's just.
First of all, we still got Kiss.
It's a new.
That, and, Adore.
It's a whole
the music
new,
is still great. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's still great, but it's not. If you were. Like I was a slave to the moment of Purple Rain and like 1,000 Around the World in a Day, and things like that, and Under the Cherry Moon, which is kind of borderline. But those things like that. But also the Graffiti Bridge soundtrack was fire. The Sign album fire, Black album fire, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? So it all depends on what you're looking for in an artist, but. Not everything's going to be the same. Like some people evolve.
My thing to all the old heads would be like, what are you supposed to do when engineering and producing like changes? Everything changes. So now, like y'all said, you don't need live bands almost or anything to come in. Everything is almost either downloadable. Niggas can do the music and send it to you.
Yeah, you can fake it to a certain extent.
Yeah, and obviously things do sound better, obviously, when it's like live bands and when things are just going on. But music is so just, you almost can download everything on programs now.
Well, I'll say it sounds better when you have experts making the music.
Well, some of the
as
experts,
opposed to being like, all right, I'm just going to do this so I don't have to pay nobody, which is a lot of times you see that in the industry.
Like that's not what I mean at all. Like I'm just talking about like expertise goes with everything. Like I mean, obviously your engineers, producers, and everything should know.
Well, no, I know
you know what I mean?
When you said like everything's like downloadable now, but that also leads to a lot of shit sounding the same or super similar. Whereas when you had different people doing shit, like Dre produced the way he produced, Q-Tip produced the way he produced, RZA produced the way he produced, fucking Pete Rock produced the way he produced, and then that led to Tim, Pharrell, Swiss Beats, Just Blaze, Kanye. All these guys have specific sounds. When you hear a beat or a production, all right, that's Swizz, that's Tim, that's Manny Fresh, that's Ye, that's, and that kind of thing. With the advent of I'ma send you beats as opposed to, let's get together and kind of make shit together, or I'm going to sit and, just have a session and everything like that, you tend to have things sound a lot more the same because people is downloading these drum kits, and I downloaded a drum kit at some point too. And like I said, there's pros and cons to everything, but I think that is one of the things that led to more people's music sounding the same.
Is it just way more producers now too, though, and shit?
Pseudo producers, yeah.
Everyone produce. We all can produce something right now and shit and get it on the level.
There's a lot more producers.
That says more about like the time we in than like
the technology and
But even now with more options, you should have more. It should technically be more creativity.
Nah, I think you'll just get more copycats because niggas just gonna jump on whatever the wave is.
Oh, I said should. I ain't say we have that. Obviously we don't, but we should have more creativity and everything.
Because even when all the poppin' producers you talking about were out, it still was niggas out replicating their sounds kinda or trying to.
Think about this: Kanye West called Just Blaze a copycat.
Yeah, well, Kanye talks.
But I'm saying though,
early Kanye, I could kind of see where he was.
I get what he was saying though. Mm-hmm. Just Blaze beat sound was derivative sort of what Ye was doing, but it's not the same whatsoever. So think about how different their sounds are, and then think about how motherfuckers sound, compared to each other today. So like Murder on the Beats, Metro Boomin.
I don't think all of them.
They don't sound the same.
I don't think they sound the same.
They don't sound the same, but compared to how the gap between Ye and Just Blaze, imagine what he think them niggas sound like. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. So, I mean, it also depends on where it's coming from and everything.
He's like, damn, I make trap beats. That's my forte, nigga. Like, so it's just, what else you want from me?
But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what else y'all using the same kid or whatever like that. I'm just saying. And also, they making beats for the same people. So, those type of things going to happen. Like I said, me, at the end of the day, if the music is good, I'm not necessarily tripping, but I also call a spade when it comes to certain things. And we do, like I said, a lot more music today is derivative than before. But that's my spiel on this. Like I said, these is my first video for Young Boys. And
I think a lot of the like you said, a lot of people try to sound the same or whatever, but Timbaland's drum kit doesn't sound anything like Pharrell's consistent drum kit. You know what I mean? The instrumentation that they might use in their beats ain't the same. Like you could take Grinding and redo it with Timbaland's kit, and it won't sound like the same song at all.
No, for sure. And I think y'all literally named all the best producers of all time. I think, especially for hip hop and shit. So it's just, and outside of that, these niggas transcend that genre and jump into other lanes and shit. So I get what y'all saying and shit, but the conversations always are weary when niggas start with like, well, niggas is cool now, but you not Bron or MJ, and it's just like, all right, bro, like it's just you just name the best niggas to ever step on the court.
A lot of these niggas is in the same class together at the same time, and I think, like I said, it's a valid point. But I don't want to, like I said, if
we're talking about the old heads, that's one.
Yeah,
thing. I wasn't trying to diss on the young boys.
It's also valid because you gotta think of production is about time and
beats 3 years ago.
But it's a time and money thing too, right? So I can play in the studio and redesign all of my snares to sound a certain way, redesign all of my drums to sound a certain way because I have time and money to do so. Most people all they could do really is download whatever the Fruity Loops joint is, and I got this idea for a beat, and they use whatever's there. They don't have the time to go and refine their sound before they actually make the beat. They kind of need to make the beat to get the money to sell it off, to then sit and then refine their sound.
Yeah, and that's why I said I'll give the young boys a little bit of time, because it be situations like that where you like, oh, this shit high. You be like, yeah, man, I sold that. That's how I got out the crib. I had to sell these 3 beats to even move, and now
well,
I'm
artistry and you making financial moves. You gotta do what you gotta do. But I mean,
no, I'm just talking
can't
about
be averse to a real talk. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not about to I'm not about to judge your life because you know what I'm saying. If you making decisions to better yourself, then cool. I'd rather you be doing that than like out killing somebody or something like that.
No, but I'm talking about the whole like if you couldn't
standpoint,
afford certain shit to make even certain beats, where it was like I can only customize these Fruity Loop beats. But
well, usually what it is, well, if you could buy Fruity Loops, I mean, you could do a lot of shit because you could technically just buy. My MPC was cheaper than Fruity Loops and Pro Tools and all that shit like that. I really just went and bought a controller and had the A.C.E software and was just making shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and it's really not hard either. It's you going in there and doing it every day.
I'm pretty sure you can add like the Foleys to anything on there and shit like that if you wanted to. Because when Tim and all these niggas is making weird shit noises and just throwing them on shit,
Babies
and doing,
crying, birds
yeah.
chirping.
So when there's a will, there's a way, and I feel like your
16, you
best
gotta
your best creativity normally comes when you broke. So hopefully it does. If it came when you got money, this shit might be a little weird.
I'll tell you right now, listen, man, with all the artistry talk, like I said, you got certain shit. Everybody's not on the same level. Timbaland grinded for about, 93 to 90, about 3 years as Devontae's understudy. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much doing drums or, whatever like that, till he got his first placement producing on Jodeci's second album. Then on the third album, he got even more placements than Missy got, songwriting and producing credits on there. Then boom, the Swing Mob breaks up. Jodeci goes on hiatus. Boom, now he's working, and him and Missy get the job for Aaliyah. They literally get hired to produce and write the whole album. So it's a grind, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not trying to judge niggas' first year or first 2 years and that be their whole thing. Like I said, some people really had to grind. Look at Pharrell's grind from Rex and Effects all the way until you get to the Neptune sound with Noriega in 98. That's 7 years. You know what I'm saying? And then he still wasn't even Pharrell yet. That's some years later. So it's a grind. Like I said, but that type of stuff tells the difference between who's who and, what's what, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So like if you're young and you only been in it for a few years, you got to grind it out. Like I said, like I said, that's the type of shit that separates everybody. But
and that's why I love when you add that context and it's just like, oh, okay, like then that's what's going on. Because like you said, it don't help either that a lot of these producers kind of have that same sound and stick to particular artists. It's just like, what do you sound like? I don't know, because you on fucking 15 tracks for Future.
That shit like,
so
look, Future paying me $25,000 a beat.
And then what am I supposed to do when
I'm 19 years old? The fuck, bro? What you want from me? And that's why I say it's different. It's different levels and different, leagues and shit like that. So I'm not judging everybody on the same criteria unless the conversation comes up and niggas be like, yo, he the greatest producer ever, bro. He only been out 2 years, and like, what does he move the needle on? You know what I'm saying? He made 50 beats, and some of them was on mixtape songs, and this person took a beat, and this person took a beat,
and that's when I wonder how old the person is that you talking to, and what's going on.
Situations. Okay, Justin Timberlake, was it the producers or was it him?
Producers.
I don't know.
Producers.
I don't know either.
I don't know, because he's been doing this for decades.
Look at Man in the Wood. Look at In Sync. Then look at Man in the Woods. Everything in between is Timberland.
Okay.
No,
I'm just saying. What?
So Justified was all Pharrell. But when he left Pharrell picked up Robin Thicke, and he became popular.
Yeah, I'm also not gonna blame. I'm not gonna blame somebody for having fire producers neither, though. Like that's a part of the game and shit. Y'all just said no when to have talent around in the room.
That's what I'm saying. So like, was it Timberlake's influence with those producers? His collaboration with them, or was it just them and their sound that made him stand up more than it was? Because I mean, he was still killing with Gone, and he did that himself.
That's one song. That rest of that album do not sound like.
Well, the
God.
rest of the album is
That one song, God's Here, though.
is
So
it's an NSYNC album, so it's not him anyway.
So that's what I'm saying. That's the one song. And then what else has he done by himself?
a lot
or
of
that
niggas
you
don't
can
have
say-
a Gone, and they plethora of.
There go the Nickisms.
Well, you also got an artist in transition, so he's always been able to kind of evolve. You know what I mean? He was doing the R&B, Pharrell-esque type music with Justified. He came back with like a electro kind of pop EDM / with Future Sex Love.
I can't wait to fall in love.
And then the 2020 was
You probably
Timberland.
hated it. I know you-
2020 was
Sing a good song
Timberland and
from that
him.
album, at least.
Wow.
But it was also kind of like that, around that same vein. And then the one that the last one he did was more so just him, but it was him at a different, like it was 40 something now. So it's not going to be the same. So again, like I wouldn't even know where to quantify or classify if it was the producers or if it was him.
That nigga got bangers, man. so it's
I'm
just,
still gonna go with the producers, John, just for like how those projects turn. Because
is
like I
Justin
said,
Timberlake talented to you?
yes.
Okay.
I never say he wasn't talented. Like I said, I loved NSYNC.
You think he's talented enough to do a good song with a regular producer?
Clearly,
No.
has he had a hit with a regular producer? That I think these questions kind of had the answer are there already. I think you
Good,
just want
but
me to say
he
certain
ain't
shit.
that good.
Yeah,
He ain't no Justin Bieber.
There's got
Justin Bieber's worked with a lot of mega producers as well. So it's just
The Biebs could work with anybody and make a hit. I'll stand by that statement.
it's 5
I
o'clock.
think they're the same nigga. Like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Redeemers. Let us know how y'all feel about this track. Jump into the comments. Tell us who your favorite producer is. Let's read this room. Other than that, we love y'all to death. We go holler at y'all. Peace.